Hi, my name's Dr. Steve Simpson. I'm an elite performance coach, which means I work with people just like you, because when we learn how to get our head in the right place, everything else seems to follow a lot more easily. And that's what this series of the Zen Doctor videos is about. It's about helping us to find how to get our head in the right place. Now, following on from the previous episodes, today the big question is, what's the meaning of life? What do we want from life? Well, the answer, of course, is very simple. It's 42. Well, it's only simple if you're a fan of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and there are still many of those people still around. But that kind of answer doesn't satisfy me. I don't know what it means, and I doubt it'll satisfy you either. So in very simple terms, we want to feel happy. That's the one word. We want to be happy. We want to be happier in our own skin. We want to be happy with other people. But how many of us can put our hand on our heart and say, yeah, I'm happy all the time, or almost all the time? The lucky few, perhaps, but for the rest of us, it's a bit of a struggle. And the reason why it's a bit of a struggle is because we're literally in two minds. We're designed to be happy, or we're evolved to be happy, or we're created to be happy. That is our default state. But the problem is that other stuff gets in the way. And this is the turmoil, the battle that we're in, because our brain is roughly, simply divided into two. We have the conscious mind and the unconscious mind. And I think most people know, or if you don't know, and I didn't know for a long time, the conscious mind is way, way smaller and less important than the unconscious mind. The good stuff goes on in the unconscious mind. It runs our bodies. We don't need to fuss and over-control anything. We are a pretty well-balanced machine working to degrees of accuracy that we couldn't recreate even if we tried. That's the miracle of our body, which we take for granted because we don't think about it. We only think about stuff that we can control or we can over-control, and that comes through our conscious mind and a small part that, for want of a better word, we'll call the ego. And you'll have seen probably, or I've made videos and blogs on this subject, and they've sometimes been called ego is no amigo. Not an original term, but it's the truth. Ego is not our friend. It serves a purpose, it keeps us out of trouble, but it doesn't know where to stop, doesn't know when to stop, doesn't know when to stop talking to us inside our head, and usually stopping us from doing things that we think are a really good idea. Because these thoughts that we have that feel like a really good idea, which we have difficulty putting words to, those have come from deeper in the unconscious mind. Intuition falls into that category, and we can usually follow our intuition pretty accurately as long as we can be sure that it hasn't been distorted or somehow corrupted by the ego. So what else is getting in the way of us being happy, our default state? Well, it's probably harder now than many other times in history to be happy because we have so many distractions that take us away. Now, we all have our wonderful gadgets, and I'm using one right now, at least one right now, that we can't do without. And we've got used to them, and we've perhaps forgotten some of our old skills. And if we've got time on our hands, and a spare 5 seconds, 30 seconds or 30 minutes, chances are we reach for our smartphone and log in and see what our friends and family are up to. And we pretty soon get trapped into watching other videos and reading other stuff. And before we know it, the time has literally flown. And has that made us happy? Well, it might have done for a fleeting few moments, but all too often we come away from experiences like that with a bit of irritation or annoyance or confusion, and with our head not in a good place. You see, the reason why we want our head in a good place, why that's the goal, is because when it is, as I mentioned, our body and the rest of our life seems to follow. When we get our head in the right place, good things seem to happen, and they don't take the enormous amount of willpower that we normally have to use to make good things happen. It's as if we have a team of invisible giants on our side, a bit like our unconscious brain, taking care of everything. It's like we've opened up another dimension where good things seem to happen, despite the odds, sometimes the staggering odds. And that's why people have such amazing experiences sometimes. So really, that's why I call this the Zen Doctor series. I spend a huge amount of my own time trying to get my head in the right place, a lot of the time not very successfully, but I have picked up a few things over the years, and those are the things that I share freely with you, for you to decide for yourself whether they're going to help you or not. So anyway, thanks for watching this channel, and I do hope that those invisible giants come marching into your life and taking care of all the stuff for you, so that you can sit back, relax, be happy, be content, and of course to share it with other people, because happiness is infectious and people respond to things like that. So if we could all be a bit happier, the world just might be a bit better place, and perhaps we need it. Anyway, in the meantime, have fun, and more videos will be coming shortly. Goodbye for now.